Hello everyone, this is Clary from Shadow Moon Tarot. Welcome back to my channel, and this is a late wrap-up of February. Better late than never. I have to say that February didn't go as planned for me. It wasn't a good month in the sense that I got stressed with things in real life which affected my mood, and then that affected how I used my time, and just everything went wrong. And I also broke my own rules that I set for my depth year. I didn't go crazy on buying, but I did buy a few things, but alright. Yeah, one thing that I really enjoyed this month is that I started my Astro Tarot series on my YouTube channel, which kind of made me go back and read my astrological books and information on astrology, and I really enjoyed that. Then another thing that I really enjoyed, although I didn't go to many places, I did manage to go out on a date with my partner on Valentine's Day, and we went to the place where we first met, and I thought that that was really sweet and a nice touch that did cheer me up. And a thing that I enjoyed using this month is this Yankee candle. It's a black cherry, and it smells so good. Yeah, and last but not least, there was an online webinar or something for about a week, and I managed to watch a video by David Well about the Tree of Life, and that was something that I didn't know much about, and the video was nice and informative, so yeah, that was something I really enjoyed. Now, going to tarot and books and stuff, this month the tarot deck that I was using the most this month was the Everyday Witch Tarot. I bought it like in December or something, and yeah, the imagery is very sweet. This deck is not like, it doesn't sugarcoat anything, and it doesn't shy away, but it is a sweet deck. Like, the imagery is nice and cute, and I really enjoyed reading with it. Like, I love the colors, and this kind of imagery, I found out that helps me read intuitively. I don't know why, but when it's kind of like realistic but a bit cartoonish, it really does a trick for me. Another deck that I use this month is the Dreaming Way Tarot. It comes in this top box that I don't like at all, but regardless, I do enjoy working with this deck. The artwork is nice. I like the colors. It has something, a wintry vibe for me. And this one is not as soft. Sometimes, like, although it doesn't have dark imagery, but it has a weird voice that sometimes can be a bit harsh. But I do like this deck. Then another deck that I've been using this month, and in February I mean, and that hasn't left my desk since I bought it, was the Dark Mansion Tarot. I am in love with this deck. Yeah, well, yeah. The colors are so nice, the imagery is just gorgeous. It reads very well. It doesn't have any guidebook at all, but it's based on the Rider-Waite-Smith system, so it's like really easy to read, and for me it's just amazing. So yeah, I have been waiting like an eternity and a day for it to arrive, but I'm so happy to have it. Now, when it comes to oracle decks, I've been using the Animal Spirit Oracle deck by Kim Krantz. The artwork is really nice. It's a really nice deck. But I have to say, I have had this for quite some time, and I was so excited to get it. But when I got it, I couldn't work with it because it has no keywords. And although the guidebook is nice um, and it has some spreads, and then it has the picture of the card, and then it has some nice information about the card. I had a problem working with it because I couldn't remember all this stuff, and I don't know a lot about animals, and the fact that there was no keyword made it hard for me to pick things up. Like I couldn't remember the meanings, so and I couldn't read into it because of the lack of knowledge. So I got stuck. After that, I bought two animal decks, oracle decks, and reading their guidebooks kind of helped me get more information about the animals. And somehow, when I started working again with this deck in January, something clicked in my head, and since then I find it easier uh, to work with it. And I do still rely on the guidebook, but not as heavily. Like now, if I read something, it I find it easier to remember it, and I don't always have to rely on the book. So I'm happy to use this now. Together with this, I was using the Shamanic Medicine Oracle cards, and this deck, that's the backing, and this deck is really nice. It has two keywords, nice matte cardstock, the colors are really nice, the guidebook is quite informative, and it's easy to read. Like, I was using this as an advice for the day, and the animal card as practical guidance, and it did work really well for me, so I'm happy about that. A deck that I bought this month, and that wasn't in my plan, but I'm really happy that I got, is the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. And at first, I saw this deck like a few years back when I started learning about the chakras, and I wanted a deck that was based on them. And back then, when I saw these cards, I wasn't much impressed because the artwork is not really my style. The keywords didn't really like seem to connect to the cards. Sometimes, like some cards were was like, yeah, I get it, and some cards were like, I don't understand it. But these cards are based on fables, and last month I last month in January, I started working with this book, the Chakra Wisdom Oracle Toolkit, and this has the full fable as well as meditations and journal prompts and exercises based on the fable. And you are meant to work with this on a weekly basis. Every card is a fable, and you work with one card per week. And Tori Hartman started a series on her YouTube channel, and she's working with one card per week as well. And I found this really helpful, so I decided, because I'm using this book, to buy this deck. And I did some readings for myself, and they were so insightful, it's unreal. So I think that these cards are really great, but I have to say that this deck doesn't work for me as a normal oracle deck where you just pick a card and say, oh, what do I see in the picture and what's the keyword, and let's do a reading. It doesn't work like this for me. And also, here in this little guidebook, they have a summary of the fable, and I found that reading just that doesn't do the trick always either. Well, if you have the big book and you read the full fable, and then you do the exercises and all that, and you work on that, you get a better understanding of the card, and these cards have so many layers and so much to work with, and it it does make a huge difference having the book, the big book, and the deck. And yeah, I would really recommend it, but only if you work together with a book, with a big book. So that was something that I really enjoyed. Now, and another deck that I got and I didn't mean to was the Voice of the Trees, and this is the deck. And now I try to work. This is based on the Ogam system. This is like a system of, let's say, runes, similar to the Norse runes, but Celtic. And I wanted to work with this system for quite a while, but when I started trying to learn the system, I was looking for a deck to help me remember the meanings. But back then, all I could find was decks that only had trees on, and that wasn't very helpful for me because I don't know a lot about trees. So recently I saw a video by Kelly, The Truth in Story, and she had a walkthrough of this oracle. And when I saw these cards that have the name of the tree, the 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 representation of the meaning, and then a keyword, I thought, yes, that's um, that's what I'm looking for. And you can see that they also have the symbol here. So I was really excited about that. But what is even more exciting is the book, because that's amazing. It has some general information about the Ogam system, but then when it goes to the actual cards, you get the name of the card, then some information about the card, then something like a small poem, then you get the divinatory meaning, the reversed meaning of the card, and then you get information about the symbols and the lore based related to the card. And last but not least, it gives you information on the actual plant, and I thought that this is amazing, so I was really glad to get this one. And I've been working with it throughout February, pulling one card just to get familiar with the system and with the lore. And yeah, that was something I really enjoyed. Now, when we go to books, I was reading The Changing Sky, which is an astrological book about transitions and progressions and stuff. And I did enjoy it. It does explain things like in a simple way. I wasn't over the moon, but I think it was a good read. Like, it was interesting. And the only book that I bought this month was this one, which is Astrology for Yourself. And this one is for people that want to learn to um, interpret their own birth chart. It explains things in a very simple way, and it has tables and everything, and talks about the planets, the signs, the houses, and everything. But what I really like about that, and the reason why I bought this, because I knew the basic information already, is that it has information on the asteroids, and this is something that I didn't know much about, because when I started studying astrology, there weren't many books available on them. So that was the main reason why I bought this book, and I'm so glad I did, because it has a lot of useful information, and now I have it all together in one place, and that's really handy. So yep, I really enjoyed that. And the other thing that I bought this month, but I don't count it as breaking my rules, was the Spirit Keepers Tarot by Benabel Wen. and this is something that I knew I was gonna buy, and the deadline is the 20th of this month. So if you're interested, make sure you don't miss out. I missed out on the first edition because when I saw the email, it was kind of like the end of November or something like that, and it was going to Christmas, so it was financially. I had to work things out with all the Christmas presents and stuff. So by the time I made up my mind, it was sold out. So I knew when she said that she's gonna have a second edition, I knew I was gonna get that. So yeah, that was it. And I think I have covered everything for February. I think so. Uh, so yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again soon. Much love. Bye.